Hi everyone, this is Amateur Gamer. We have now moved on to the third and final legendary bird of the first gen. Moltres will be taking the stage and we shall see how it will fare. Will Moltres be the weakest of the three, the strongest, or will it be just the average? Its fire typing will make it struggle against the first two gyms. With Blastoise as its counterpart in the champion fight, Moltres will have an uphill fight. Looking at my rival's final team, both Rhydon and Blastoise will pose a serious problem. With a difficult start and end, will Moltres come out on top, or will I have to endure a lot of grinding? In terms of moves, Moltres has very similar options of Articuno and Zapdos. I may need a different strategy against Blastoise, so the moves I'll be using may differ from usual. I won't be spoiling my strategy, but if it does happen, it will be the most strategic fight out of all the fights I've had with the legendary birds. As for stats, Moltres has the highest special attack and speed of the three birds. That might make things interesting as it makes it more of a glass cannon than the other two, especially when it comes to rock type moves that are 4 times super effective. After the first two gyms, I expect a fairly smooth journey until I face the Elite Four where it could be an uphill climb throughout. Moltres has interesting starting moves. Ember is its 40 base power fire move. It also has a 60 base power wing attack, which is very powerful for most of the game. This is basically aerial ace that can miss. With wing attack, I can beat my first rival fight with ease while also tackle the optional rival fight sooner. I still had to grind a lot because Brock was a tough opponent. I faced the only trainer in Brock's gym and it was a breeze. Brock's Geodude also wasn't an issue. His Onix was the biggest obstacle due to a annoying Rock Tomb. Not only are rock type moves 4 times super effective against Moltres, but the lowering of speed by a stage makes any chance of a comeback practically impossible. Ironically, my winning run saw Onix missing both of his rock tombs, resulting in Moltres not taking any damage. Where was that luck earlier? The rival fight at Celadon City was simple when Pidgeotto used tackle instead of sand attack. Wing attack easily swept my rival's entire team due to the grinding I had to do in order to beat Brock earlier. Then I faced Misty. Staryu fell to a simple wing attack, making me somewhat confident about beating Starmie. When Starmie outsped Moltres and removed nearly half of Moltres' health, that confidence vanished. Luck once again came in clutch with a critical hit that got me the badge. I'm not complaining about these fortunate rolls. Moltres was level 27 when I fought my rival on the SSN. Despite getting hit by a sand attack, Moltres didn't miss a single wing attack and swept through my rival's team without taking a hit. For whatever reason, this rival fight always feels easier than the one in Celadon City. Before I faced Surge, I actually went and caught myself 4 Meowth for their useful pickup ability. More on that later. As for Surge, he didn't put up much of a fight. Both Voltorb and Pikachu fell to a single Ember, while Raichu gambled with a double team, which didn't pay off as Moltres finished it off the next turn. After a lengthy journey through the rock tunnel, I made my way to Celadon City where Moltres absolutely devastated Erica. By fighting all the trainers in her gym, I got plenty of experience and money, with the former ensuring that Moltres could one-shot all of Erica's Pokemon, including her bulky Vileplume. After Erica, I paid Giovanni a visit in the Rocket Hideout. The rock throw from his Onix hurt. Rhyhorn didn't use a rock-type move. Not that I know if it had one. Kangaskhan was just tanky as usual, but 2 wing attacks, one of them critical hit, knocked it out. Then I faced my rival in the Pokemon Tower, and at this point, Moltres is simply too strong and took very little damage in the battle. Next, I faced Koga and had a tough time. It wasn't until Moltres was level 49 and learned Flamethrower did I return and destroy Koga. Flamethrower is such a massive upgrade from Ember. My next fight was against my rival at Silphco and it was pretty simple with my level advantage, and Blastoise only knowing Water Gun. It also made me wonder if Water Gun will be the main water type move from my rival starter until the champion fight. The Giovanni fight in Silphco was much easier with Flamethrower, where I one-shotted all of his Pokemon except for Nidoqueen, who got burnt. With Sabrina, I swept through her team with Wing Attack. I know I went through a lot of these battles very quickly, but there wasn't much happening anyways. The fight against Blaine was a pretty straightforward one. I initially used Wing Attack, but after the second Intimidation from Arcanine, I switched to Flamethrower. With leftovers, Moltres ended the fight at full health. Somehow, Arcanine missed both of his Fire Blasts when they would do very little. Such is my luck. Interestingly, the Moltres run was the one that taught me fire is neutral against ground. I always thought it was not very effective, but I was wrong. As a result, I just spammed Flamethrower against Giovanni and swept through his team with ease. Then I faced my rival just before Victory Road. I only won because Blastoise only knew Water Gun. If it knew a move like Surf, I might have needed a strategy, some grinding, or both. For this fight, Blastoise took 3 Flamethrower, while the rest of my rival's team were swept easily. I didn't look forward to facing Lorelei. Unlike Articuno, who was in a battle of attrition, Moltres had to face Surfs, which are guaranteed to inflict a lot of damage. There's also Slowbro, who is resistant to Flamethrower and has amnesia. Overall, I expect this to be a very challenging fight. During my first attempt, I reached Slowbro with full health and still got wrecked by a Yawn and 2 Surfs. This first attempt also went very well for me, and despite that, it ended quickly. I needed an answer to Slowbro along with any other obstacles like Surfs from Dugong and Lapras. After many attempts, I decided on teaching 2 new moves to Moltres, Sunny Day and Fly. Sunny Day is there to boost my Flamethrower while weakening the Surfs. It also cancels out Hail, which is basically counteracting the healing I get from leftovers. Fly is merely used to stall and allow the leftovers to heal more while also neglecting some of the damage to be inflicted on Moltres. But fighting patiently, I was able to get past the enemy team and get past a very tough opponent. The Bruno fight could have been problematic with the 2 Onixes. However, that concern was gone when I got rid of the first one with a critical hit Flamethrower. I then tempted fate by using Flamethrower on Hitmonchan, but it lived by a sliver of health. Then I used a Rock Tomb, which thankfully missed. Wing Attack of course finished it off as I decided to take the smarter choice. The scary phase from Machamp was, as the name suggested, scary. At least, I thought it would have been the case if Hitmonlee didn't use Mega Kick and the last Onix didn't use Double Edge. Apparently, Flamethrower was strong enough to knock out the Onixes regardless if it was a critical hit or not. Agatha's team then got swept by Flamethrower and I can move on to Lance. The Lance fight surprised me when Aerodactyl took out most of Moltres' health with a single ancient power. Since Aerodactyl was also faster, there was no chance for Moltres to win this fight. I used a rare candy to get Moltres to level 68 at 159 speed. This allowed me to outspeed Aerodactyl, and a single Flamethrower with Sunny Day was all that was needed to beat the fossil Pokemon. I then prioritized getting Sunny Day up to maximize the damage Flamethrower can do, which eventually got me the victory. At this point, I've gotten enough PP ups to raise Flamethrower PP to 24, which honestly is a lot. That makes it so I don't have to use PP recovery items as often. For anyone wondering, I got most of my rare candy and PP ups from the Meowths, and they come in very useful. In the champion fight, I was quite worried about my rival's Blastoise. My rival has finally taught a Hydro Pump instead of having Water Gun. This means that if Moltres gets hit, it will deal some serious damage. During my first attempt, Blastoise gets a Rain Dance critical hit Hydro Pump. Moltres is never going to survive that. My second attempt came very close to winning as I got to Arcanine, the last Pokemon. The problem was that Moltres took too much damage in the end, and an extreme speed for Arcanine ended that attempt. Rhydon was going to be a problem, but more on that later. I've been planning out my strategy against Blastoise before I even started the Moltres run. Moltres has pressure, which forces the opponent to use an extra PP for their moves, while Hydro Pump has 5 PP. If I can survive 3 Hydro Pumps, Blastoise's biggest weapon will be shut down. That's where Sunny Day and Fly come in. The first weakens it, while the second can make it outright miss. After a few attempts, I more or less got Blastoise figured out. My solution with Rhydon required rare candy to get Moltres to level 72 and set up Sunny Day before I faced Rhydon. The idea here was to get Moltres more HP to work with. Since leftovers heal a percentage health each turn, more HP means more health healed per turn. I was unsure what level I have to be in order to one-shot that Rhydon, but due to its health pool, it might be quite a few levels. In the end, I just needed to get to Arcanine with enough health to survive that first extreme speed and any critical hit moves. If I can eliminate the RNG that can really ruin Moltres, then I will be able to secure victory. For my winning attempt, I got the Arcanine with 140 health, which was nearly 3 times as much as my second attempt. Through the power of stalling with Fly, I was able to make Arcanine use up all of its flamethrower and extreme speed. Arcanine was using Bite in the end, and that wasn't a terrifying move. By fully utilizing pressure, I got a pretty good strategy that relied a lot less on luck. Moltres beat the Elite Foreign Champion at level 72. I personally enjoyed this run the most out of the 3 Gen 1 legendary birds because I actually used a lot more strategy than the previous 2 runs. Utilizing Sunny Day, Leftover, Fly, and Pressure felt quite fun as I tried to mitigate the bad luck. All 3 birds had pressure, but I only got it to work with Moltres. I still wouldn't say it's the strongest of the 3. In terms of coverage moves, Moltres did feel more limited. However, I didn't feel like it needed more coverage. It had the tools and I was able to use them to decent effect. I will admit that I expected Moltres to do the worst of the 3 birds, but they have all proven to have strengths and weaknesses that make them unique and strong in their own way. That's it for the Gen 1 legendary birds. I may do some other runs before I try out the Gen 2 legendary birds. That's it for the video. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, and maybe even subscribe. Thank you.